Before we begin our service tonight, I want to tell a great story. It's not about me, but it's still a great story. And that is the young lady who will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow, who we will be hearing tonight, Vivian. We were practicing our bat mitzvah ceremony, and she was having a really hard time holding the Torah. And I thought, well, maybe the Torah is too heavy. She said, no, Rabbi, it's not too heavy. I just hate the feel of velvet against my skin. And I said, fascinating. I said, well, you don't have to suffer. We could figure something out. I could put a shmata around, that's a like a cloth around the Torah. And then I had this great idea. I said, let me call one of my congregants who's a fabulous seamstress. I said, Anne, if I give you the measurements of the Torah, can you make a Torah cover? It could be a shmata with holes. But really, can you do it in a week? She said, Rabbi, no problem. She said, in fact, I'm not just going to make a Torah cover, but I'm sure, because if you know, the reading stand's kind of that velvety, so we're covering the reading stand with this tallis and a cover that Anne made. And she embroidered it with 18 designs, 18 being the chai, yes. So tonight, we are going to be taking 2 Torahs from the Ark, one, our regular Torah, and one I'm going to call Vivian's Torah, so that we can show the cover that Anne made, and it forever links our community together because we are an inclusive community. And when you let us know what accommodation you need, we're going to see if we can't accommodate that. And so nobody should ever have to suffer to hold the Torah. So that's my Shabbat story for you. It's a warm fuzzy. I hope I didn't embarrass you too much, Vivian. You rock. And you do too, Anne. Thank you for taking that. And everybody at the Oneg tonight, when you have a cookie, you can give an atta girl to Anne. And now we come to Shabbat, our time of joy, of rest, and of peace. Now, tonight is the last Shabbat of the Hebrew month of Av, which means that Elul, which is the final month of the year, begins this weekend. Tonight is Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow night is Rosh Chodesh. Rabbi Weiner taught me this whole thing about how the rabbis cut the difference when the month has 29 days and when it has 30 days. My eyes rolled back in my head. I couldn't understand anything she was talking about. But just know that the new month begins this weekend, and we will be saying the blessing for the new month. And really, the new month asks for prosperity, for health, for goodness. For rabbis, the new month of Elul, we ask for sermon ideas. Because we know that in 30 short days, the high holidays will be upon us. And those sermons, well, they better be written. So, this is the 4th week in the Hebrew month of Av, seemingly the end of summer, and crunch time for the rabbis. We begin our service with the singing of Hine Ma Tov.
Page 10.
Page 10.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבר אחים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר גם יחד, שבת אחים מויחים גם יחד, שבת אחים מויחים גם יחד.
It is my pleasure to invite to the Bima at this time to sanctify our Shabbat candles, Karen Rosenberg.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Yasher Kol. Great job.
And just a brief reminder before we continue on with our service, if you have a cell phone tonight, please do turn it off, or at the very least, silence it. Let's give ourselves the gift of Shabbat tonight. We continue now with the Baruch Hu on page 28. Please rise. Please be seated. It's my pleasure on the eve of her bat mitzvah to invite up Vivian Rosenberg to lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishanem itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakokavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvah laws and precepts. Therefore, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We continue now with the Shema on page 34. Please rise.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated as we continue chanting Ve'ahavta together on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavecha hayom al levavecha Lishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha v'veitecha, u'lechtecha v'derech, u'shochbecha u'vkumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
On the bottom of page 38, all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude. They accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously, as we do now on page 40. On page 43, let's read together in the English at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue now singing Yismechu at the bottom of page 44.
Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue now with our congregational tefillah, beginning on page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftachu ufi agitehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב והושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מחמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך לימית ומחייב, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom ya'alelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Let's read responsively at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue now with our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, on page 60, followed by a few moments of silent meditation and reflection.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Yatahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Yatahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levaret et amcha Yisrael b'kol elu v'kol shah v'yishlomecha. Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Ad Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Ose shalom romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We come now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which can be found on page 244. Will the congregation please rise?
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Olam, Olam, Omer.
Please be seated. Our Torah portion this week comes from the book of Deuteronomy, and it is entitled Re'eh, meaning see. And it's the idea that God says to Moses to tell the Israelites, see that I set today before you a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments, and a curse if you don't. Now, Vivian tomorrow is going to go into a lot more of what this means, but I want to focus on one of the major tenets of this Torah portion, which is the centrality of the temple. That the Israelites, when they entered the Promised Land, were supposed to centralize the synagogue, or centralize the temple, if you will, not join the other people in their idolatrous ways, and that they should not deviate from God's laws and God's commandments. You can follow along with the reading of our Torah portion this evening in those Eitz Chaim commentaries, the large maroon books found under your seats or under the seat in front of you, on page 1061. Ta'amod Chava bat Yitzchak la'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Re'eh Anochi noten lifnechem hayom beracha uklala et habracha asher tishmeu al mitzvot Adonai Elohechem asher anochi mitzavechem hayom vehaklala im lo tishmeu el mitzvot Adonai Elohechem usartem min haderech asher anochi mitzavetchem hayon lalechet acharei Elohim acherim asher lo yidatem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those of our community and families who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Kristen Nystro, Richard Vane, Arthur Lang, Heather Borzak, Dick McLean, Quince Newman, Brooke Ann Gottesman, Bridget Stern, Jim Berry, Jay Field, the Mix family, Len Schutzman, Alan Wolski, Joy Rosenthal, Irving Philip Miller, Toby Birkin Weber, Lisa Stack, Carol Kretnar, Lola Woloch, Gary Tatiner, Cheryl Ball, John Eulenberg, Rhonda Rhodes, David Menikoff, Rusty Taylor, Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Rabbi Fred Wanger, Jean Maynard, Jacqueline Sullivan, Julie Melvin, Carol Nymark, Catherine Smith, Marie Saladki, Sarah Warch, Vic Tussey, George Jacobs, Martin Kolber, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech v'rapeh et kol cholei Yisrael v'yishlach lahem bimheira refuah shlema refuah tanefesh refuah taguf v'nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say, Amen.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue in our Sidurim and our prayer books on page 261, the prayer for the new month. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shet chadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba letova v'livracha. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Elul Yehieh B'Yom Rishon. The new month of Elul will begin on Sunday, although it's kind of beginning tomorrow too, according to the rabbis. We're not going there. We'll just say, okay. And now we continue with Hagba and Galila. Ya'amod Yitzchak ben Chava u'Mordechai Hagba. Ya'amod Sarnamen bat Lev Akiva Galila. Will the congregation please rise?
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Please be seated.
It is my pleasure to invite to the bima at this time to lead us in the prayer for America, Shari Katz.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we serve you. Bless our country that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Amen.
We continue on page 259, the prayer for the state of Israel. It is my pleasure to invite forward Jacob Spenedale. Jacob, do you want the step? Okay. There you go, right there.
Protector, Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawn of hope for all who seek peace. Sheltered beneath the wings, your love spread over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead in the heights, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land of fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Our service continues on page 262 as we rise to return the Torah to the ark. No, that's not right. What page is it on? 256. I'm thinking, doesn't sound right. 256.
Eitz chaim hilam machazikim b'v'tomchecha meushar. Eitz chaim hilam machazikim b'v'tomchecha meushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Please be seated.
So I think a lot of you are here because not only is Vivian becoming bat mitzvah tomorrow, but it is also back to school Shabbat. How many of you started school recently? Anybody start school recently? Anybody about to start school? We have a lot of teachers here who are about to start school, other students who are about to start school, right? So there are a lot of us, and the new year brings out a lot of feelings. A lot of us are involved in education. You don't even have to be in a school to be involved in education, right? But we all do this, and before I offer a blessing, I want to share this with you. A friend of mine shared this with me, a blessing or something that she wrote for her children when they started school that I thought was really lovely, and I wanted to share it with you. And she wrote the 10 Commandments of starting back to school. Number 1, we are so proud of you. We're proud of you when you get good grades. We're proud of you when you try your best. We're proud of you when things get complicated and you don't give up. We're proud of you not only when you achieve something, but we are proud of who you are and how you try. We are your biggest fans. Number 2, know who you are and stand confidently so that you can't be rattled, no matter what anyone says or does. Number 3, it's hard to be the new kid, and we've all been the new kid at some point. It's hard to be the kid who's left out. It's hard to be the kid who's picked on. Try to notice who is on the outskirts and who's being excluded and bring them in. A smile goes a long way. Number 4, nobody is better than anyone else. Some kids are going to play sports, some will read books, some will build Legos, some will sing or make art or play instruments. We all have our thing. One hobby isn't better than another. One extracurricular isn't cooler than another. Love people for who they are and let them thrive where they thrive. Number 5, remember not to judge someone based on appearances, like when a package comes from Amazon, and we've had a lot of those recently. When it does it matter what the box looks like, or does it matter what's inside? The same thing with people. Those differences point to a miraculously creative creator. They do not point to reasons for us to pick on each other. Nothing is smaller than teasing someone for the way they look, the clothes they wear, or the shoes on their feet. It's all about a person's heart and the way they treat others. Number 6, notice and appreciate. Treat your teachers with respect. Thank them. Look them in the eyes. Listen to them when they speak to you. Take notice of their instruction, but don't stop there. The person who works in the cafeteria, notice and appreciate them. The person who cleans the hallways, notice and appreciate them. The librarian, notice and appreciate them. Make it a habit to notice and appreciate those people who are around you. Number 7, have fun. That's an important one. We know you aren't going to love every moment of school, and that's okay. Nobody is happy 100% of the time, and you're a kid or an adult, it doesn't matter either way. Being in school, learning, engaging with others, that is what we have to enjoy. So find a way to make things fun. Find a way to create fun or to choose fun. Look for it, seek it out, and embrace it. Number 9, make good friends. Be a good friend. Notice who you're around, and when you feel your best, those are your people. You don't need a ton of friends. You don't need to be in the cool group. You just need 1 or 2 people who like you for who you are and who make life a little bit better. And number 10, live with integrity. We know we talk a lot about this, but it's important. Do the right thing, no matter who's around you, no matter who isn't around you, no matter what everyone else is doing, and no matter what everyone else isn't doing. Don't sink low just to be popular. You stay on your level. You can be a leader. You stay true to yourself and aim high. These 10 commandments are what we all aspire to and hope that you in your school years, wherever you are starting your school year, that you will aspire to this as well. So at this point, I would like to invite up anybody who is a student, anybody who's a teacher, anybody who does anything in education who started a new year this year in the last couple of weeks to come on up to the bima for a blessing. There are a lot of you, so come on up. You can't hide in here. And we're going to have everybody please rise. All right, so many more. Hopefully there are some of you watching at home as well. You are also receiving this blessing. May this year be a year of learning and growth, of new experiences and understandings. May you outgrow your shoes if you're not done growing, and may you not lose your jackets, even if you're an adult. May each day bring something new, and may routine guide your steps. May your pencils be sharp and your minds even sharper. May you revel in the joy of each new fact learned, each right answer, each small accomplishment. May the erasers of your pencils get as much use as the tips of them. May you learn that the wrong answers can be just as important as the right ones. May you ask questions, so many questions, and I know so many of you are so good at asking questions. So ask them. And may your teachers be very patient as they answer all of those questions. May you make friends and build relationships, and may you make lifelong connections with people. May you be kind and polite and a mensch of the highest order, and may this year be a year filled with blessings. Amen. Thank you. You all can go and sit down. Please be seated.
So please turn in your prayer book now to page 363, and together we will sing a blessing for all of the teachers and all of the students. 363, Kaddish de Rabbanan.
And their students and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. And for those who study Torah here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for celebrating with us tonight. I'm Joel Spendadell, and I'm honored to share short announcements with you this evening. First of all, thank you to our usher, Lisa Popowski, and our greeter, Rachel Wood. Thank you to Cindy for the beautiful music, and to Rabbis Koznowski and Rabbi Weiner for leading this service. Thank you to the security team for providing security this evening, and Mazel Tov to Vivian Rosenberg on becoming a bat mitzvah, and to the Rosenberg family. Now, registration for Selichot Palooza, our multi-generational perspective and current member festival, is now open. Bring your friends and join us on Saturday, September 17th. Starting at 5, we have free, that's 5 p.m. for those of you who are early birds. We have free food trucks, wine and scotch tasting, wagon rides, a bouncy house, I think scotch tasting's for the adults, a bouncy house, that might be for the adults too, a bubble making presentation, definitely for the adults, and babysitting, not for the adults. At 7:30, we will kick off the high holidays in a candlelight slichot service with a first shofar blast of the season. While we're handing out mazel tovs, I want to give a mazel tov to all the students and the teachers on the start of the year. We're looking forward to having our new leader, Marla Bentley. For those of you who don't know Marla, wave. You can say hi to Marla at the Oneg. Welcome, Marla, and I'm excited to be a teacher, my 10th year. I know, Rachel, you have a few more than me, but I'm trying to catch up. For more details on this and all the upcoming events, check out our weekly happenings email. Please join us after services for a wonderful Oneg in the social hall, sponsored by the Rosenberg family. Shabbat Shalom.
You know what Joel didn't say about Slichot Palooza is that it's all free. Babysitting too. Gotta love it. We come now to our concluding blessings, our concluding prayers, and it is my pleasure to invite to the bima to open our ark Miriam and Aaron Katz. We continue on the bottom of page 282, and I ask the congregation to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those of our community and family who have departed this earth and whose yortzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We recall with tremendous love Clarice Lifson, mother of Lawrence Lifson, Aaron Pelsner, father of Helene Frankfeder, Muriel Richmond, mother of Linda Richmond, Karen Honig, mother of Robert Honig, Jeannie Sawyer, mother of Michael Sawyer, Meyer Zunder, uncle of Stephen Kapp, Robert Fishman, uncle of Sherry Kaiser, Jordan Frank, father of Judith Lerner, Lucille Jaffe, mother of Judith Polko, Eugene D. Steinman, cousin of Barry Ehrlich, Stanley Trockman, father of Brett Trockman. Ruth Jacobson, grandmother of Robert Honig. Fradell C. Jean, aunt of Lynn Whippich. Dorothy Lipson, aunt of Catherine Leese. Al Gorin, grandfather of Beth Spenadel. Kenneth Harris, stepfather of Kenya Madison Gabler. Florence Stoller, grandmother of Michael Stoller. Beatrice Weinstein, aunt of Craig Mandel. Sidney Chaleff, grandfather of Bonnie Madison. Harry Cantor, father of Laura Berry. Shirley Mitnick, mother of Ricky Mitnick. Evelyn Sugar, grandmother of Michael Stoller. Bill Good, father of Robin Carlini. We also mourn the recent passing of Richard Hoffman, father of Cynthia Swanson. Burton Lichterman, father of Marla Friedman. Rabbi Edward Feldheim, father of Deborah Cairo, father-in-law of Stuart Cairo, and grandfather of Alex, Josh, and Brandon Cairo. Ashley Jill Gardner Sloan, cousin of Ann Stewart. And Estelle P. Finnick, mother of Robin Summers, mother-in-law of Philip Summers, and grandmother of Lauren and Billy Summers. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we recite Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found in our prayer book on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalal v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
V'imru amen. V'imru amen. V'imru amen. V'imru amen.
Please be seated. Our closing song this evening, Or Zarua, can be found in our prayer book on page 343, followed by we will do Kiddush and Motzi, and it is my pleasure to invite to the Bima, I'll have you come up after Or Zarua, the entire Rosenberg family to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi.
Or Zarua, la tzadik, u'yisrael lev simcha. Or Zarua, la tzadik, u'yisrael lev simcha. Or Zarua, la tzadik, u'yisrael lev simcha. U'yisrael lev simcha. Or Zarua, la tzadik, u'yisrael lev simcha. U'yisrael lev simcha. Pa 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 pa. Pa 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 pa.
All right, Rosenberg family, come on down or come on up, and we're going to lead Kiddush and Motzi together. Come on. Mr. Cameraman, you can zoom in, get a nice close-up of the family, handsome family here, just saying. All of our friends who are home, you can join us as well. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagaf bafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'te'avon. May we always act as if everything depended upon God, but let us always act as if everything depends upon us. Shabbat Shalom.